Greetings. Today's topic is about traveling to North Korea. North Korea is in Northeast Asia, on the northern half of the Korean peninsula. It's the most isolated country in the world. The North Korea history began in 1945, just as the end of the Second World War, when the Soviet Union and the USA split the country in half because of their own ideology. This wasn't always like this. In the beginning, Korea used to be an only country. After several number of wars, Korea ended being dominated by the Empire of Japan until they fell in the end of the Second World War. Just right after the war ended, the Soviet Union and the USA wanted to establish their own ideology in the peninsula, dividing the ideology of the country between the imperialism and communism. In the communist part of the country, the Soviet Union put in charge Kim Il sung. He introduced to the country the Juche ideology, making himself something close to a type of god. I mention this because it's important that you know this isn't just a regular trip to Acapulco. Traveling to North Korea involves some crazy rules you must follow. Unless you want to end up like this guy. How to enter the country? First of all, you gotta hire an authorized travel agency because there's no other way to enter the country. Once you hire the travel agency, congratulations! Your journey officially begins. Pack your favorite clothes, nothing too American, and start looking for the best sales on airplane flights. First, you gotta make it to China. Once in China, you got to encounter your guide and your journey mates. This is important because your guide will tell you some basic rules. You got to be asking, why the heck I got to travel with other people? And I'll answer, just because. Don't ask, please. Nah, I'm kidding. The only way to enter North Korea is by train, and the tickets are only sold to travel agencies. You can just go to a train station and ask for a ticket by yourself. What do you expect? It's North Korea. After some hours, you finally made it to North Korea. Congratulations! Before you can get down off the train, soldiers of the Korean People's Army will begin reviewing your luggage in search of private things. Also, if they realize you have a camera, they will ask you to see if you record something you can't record. We will reach that later. Once you pass the check, the train will follow its way to North Korea's capital city, Pyongyang. When you arrive to Pyongyang, a bus is going to be waiting for you. You must be prepared because that bus is going to be your transportation method for almost all the time. Where you're going to stay during your trip and some rules you gotta follow inside the place. The bus is gonna leave you and your travel partners in the only hotel that receives foreign people, the Yanggakdo International Hotel. This hotel has 6 restaurants, entertainment areas, also a casino. It's the best hotel in the whole North Korea area. The hotel rules are pretty unusual. The first rule is that it's prohibited to leave the hotel without your guides. You can stay in the lobby, the recreational areas, and the rest of the hotel, except for the fifth floor, and also the stairs in the rooftop. All of these places are prohibited. In this hotel, there's no free Wi Fi. You have to pay $10 to have the right to send an email below 210 kilobytes. In this email, you can send photos or videos, only text. This text is going to be reviewed previously by a staff member that will send the email for you. Also, you can send the email to a Gmail direction. An obvious rule is that you can take home anything from the hotel. It's known that breaking these rules can get you in a very serious problem. An example for that is Otto Warmbier's story. This fella took a propaganda poster from the fifth floor. We can notice that 2 rules were broken. And at the end, he got arrested and got convicted to a forced labor camp for 15 years. And when the USA interfered, he returned home practically dead. Poor fella. Rules you must follow and some advices to prevent an unpleasant time. From the first moment you are in North Korea, your guide will tell you these basic rules. Number 1. You can't separate from your guides. This is because you can't walk freely around North Korea. Number 2. You can't record military bases, soldiers, buildings under construction, or certain areas that the guide will indicate. All this to avoid problems for you and your guides. Number 3. You can't talk freely to local people unless your guide allows you to do that. Number 4. You can speak with your guides about their ideology at certain point, but you can't talk about the leaders in a bad way. Number 5. You can't take home North Korean money. This is considered an offense. Number 6. It's rude not to pay respect to the leaders. Also, it's illegal, so you don't want to end up in the gulag just for drawing a fake mustache on Kim Jong il's face. Some advices you would want to hear to prevent ruining your trip. First, don't bring anything too Western. This isn't illegal, but you will attract attention, and you don't want soldiers' attention. Second, don't you dare to bring a flag from another country, especially a USA flag, unless you want a soldier to bring you to a special room called Yale. Third, you don't want to make cosplay from Kim Jong il. This is considered rude and also illegal. Places of interest you can visit and their own rules. During your trip in North Korea, there's a pre approved list of places of interest. The first place you will visit is the DMZ, the Demilitarized Zone. This is the most guarded border in the world. In this place were signed the treatments from the Korean War. The only rule here, besides the other ones previously mentioned, is that you can't cross the border. You can get shot for this. The second place you're going to visit is the Koryo Museum. This place used to be a learning place slash university in the 11th century. In this place doesn't have any type of particular rules. The third place is the reunification arc. This is a statue that represents the wish of reunification from both Koreas as an only country. The fourth place is the sports district. This place is a street full of sports-made buildings. In this street, you can spectate any type of sportive show. The fifth place is the founders' statues. These statues from Kim Il sung and Kim Jong il are sacred for the North Korean people. There are some rules you have to follow to visit this place. These are you have to wear your clothes completely closed. You mustn't put your hands in your pockets. You must walk in a double line all the time behind your guides. You have to pay respect with a reverence, and finally, you can't cut any part from the statues if you record them. The sixth place is the Grand People's Study House. This building is one of the most important buildings in the country. This building has two functions, a university and a library for selected North Korean people. The seventh place is the North Korean subway system. This place have a particular double use, one as a transportation method and a bomb shelter. That's crazy, huh? The eighth place is the Kumsam's Palace of Sun. This is the mausoleum of the two great leaders. This place have the most strict rules from all the places. In this mausoleum, you can't have anything in your pockets. You can take only one picture in a pre-established place. You must walk in four equal lines behind your guides. You have to wear formal clothes. You can't put your hands in your pockets. You must wear formal black shoes. All these rules are enforced strictly because you'll see the embalmed corpses of Kim Il sung and Kim Jong il. In these two rooms, you have to reverence the corpses for 5 seconds per side of the sarcophagus. Some of the North Korean CNC culture and customs. I know there's a lot of rules in North Korea, but not everything is rules and procedures. The North Korean culture is pretty unique. The North Korean people don't have any type of religion. John Lennon would be very happy here. Instead of that, they have a type of adoration to the great leaders. They almost consider them as divinity figures. The North Korean people used to have a picture of the great leaders everywhere, and when I mean everywhere, I mean everywhere. There's not too much information about an ordinary day for North Korean people, but we certainly know that they love beer. They drink it in every meal. Also, the marriage depends on the social status of the groom. This is pretty strange because when they marry, the government provides a house for the new couple, depending on their social status. North Korean TV and music are completely controlled by the government, so you won't listen any North Korean narco corridos of Kim Jong Un. And finally, the North Korean people learn from a young age that they have to hate the USA. That's why I warn you not to look too American. In conclusion, the North Korea country is a unique and controversial place, but as every other country, they have their own customs and some quirky stuff about their culture. They are humans like everyone in this planet. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and now you know what and don't what to do when you visit North Korea. Bye!